Welcome, everybody. This is Holly Kyle with the Full Circle Family Counseling RAD Parenting Podcast. And today we have a really special guest. We have Patti Hoyt, who has come to talk to us about anxiety, and in particular, anxiety with essential oils and how we can use essential oils to help mitigate some of the symptoms that happen when we're experiencing some anxiety, which as parents with RAD kids, I know that you do have that quite often. So welcome, Patti. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, let's dive right in. So first of all, for people who are new to essential oils, what is that? What are they? What does that actually mean?
Sure. Yeah. So essential oils are actually just naturally occurring chemical compounds that plants make. So they're part of what happens actually during photosynthesis. Plants are making these chemical compounds and that are oils, and they do things for the plant. So they're attracting pollinators, or maybe repelling harmful insects. Maybe they're helping to restore cell damage, or fight off bacteria and viruses. So they're serving a purpose for the plant. The plant can't run to the pharmacy when it has a problem. Gotcha. So it has to create the solution itself. So then our cells recognize these compounds, and our bodies use them really easily, and we can reap just amazing health benefits from them.
Oh, that's awesome. I love thinking about plants running to the pharmacy, though. That's kind of a cute little image. So, so that's really cool. So how are some of the different ways that essential oils can be used? How would somebody use them?
Okay. Yeah. So there's three main ways that we use essential oils. The first way is what we maybe typically think of as just smelling them. So that's like the aromatherapy type way to use them. So when we use them by smell, we can either just simply smell them from the bottle. We can put them on our skin so that it's kind of evaporating off of us and we're smelling them. We can put them in essential oil diffuser, and that's something that we're not having to think about it, but we're continuing to smell it. The second way is that pure essential oils can be applied to the skin, like I said, and they'll just absorb. A lot of the oil will absorb right into the skin. So that's a way to get it in your body. And when we're using them topically for things like maybe sore muscles or itchy bug bites or stuff like that, it really is best to always combine them with a carrier oil. It's just more gentle on our skin. So that could be something like fractionated coconut oil, or even like an unscented lotion would be a thing you could combine them. And then many essential oils can be used internally to support the body. So they could be added to water or tea. A couple drops could be put in an empty veggie capsule and swallowed, or they can actually be dropped right under the tongue. So that would be the third way you can use them.
Excellent. Excellent. And I am proud to say that I use different oils in all different ways that you mentioned. So, and have found some benefits myself. Now, obviously, there are probably tons and tons of places that you can get essential oils. Where should people be getting them from?
Yeah, this is a really important question. And thank you for asking this, because right now the essential oil industry is not regulated in the United States. So a lot of things are labeled as essential oils that have a wide variety of purity. So a lot of essential things that are sold as essential oils have a synthetic compounds in them that may be something, like a pesticide that was sprayed on the plant before it was harvested, or even a synthetic added to the oil post production, kind of to like maybe enhance the smell. So there is a wide range there, and a wide range of safety. So that's why this is an important question. And so I use doTERRA essential oils, and the thing I love about them is that the whole company came into existence because the people that started it wanted to offer really pure essential oils, undiluted, to the market. That's the whole point of the company existing. So when that's their whole brand, they're going to be true to that,
Yes.
And so they are extremely transparent with their sourcing practices. They're sourcing well beyond fair trade, and they work directly with the growers and distillers of the oil. So there's no middleman there that has the potential to add something to the oils. I was actually able to visit their bottling facility, and there was the tech was explaining to us that they had recently had a batch of oils come in, and one of the tests showed that it had traces of phthalates in it, which meant to them that at some point in the transportation of that batch of oils, it had been stored in plastic for some amount of time. And that was enough. Just that was enough for them to reject that whole
Wow.
batch and sell it to a company that maybe was just going to use it for scent, and not for health benefits. But that really struck me, that they're just like, nope, and
Yeah, no, that's great that
gone
they take
and
that so
like that.
seriously. Yeah, yeah. Now we came on today to talk specifically about anxiety, and I know that there are probably hundreds of different essential oils out there. What specifically, what essential oils are best for anxiety, and what methods might you use to get the best use out of those?
Okay, yeah, I just love this topic so much because it's been so important for me. I do want to say first that I really believe in taking a holistic approach. And like, for example, I've heard it said many times, you can't out oil a bad diet.
Hmm.
So nutrition is important, movement is important, getting outside. So I just want to say that first. But acknowledging that when we use oils for anxiety, we can use them in all of those three ways that we talked about: smelling them, applying them, and taking them internally. So some of the ones, probably the best known oil for calming is lavender. And I really, want to stress that it is very calming. There's another lesser known oil called petit grain that is very chemically similar to lavender, but it doesn't have that floral smell to it. So some people say it's lavender for dudes, but it's another option if you want that benefit, but you don't like that smell necessarily. The citrus oils are really excellent for anxiety. They're like happy in a bottle. So like wild orange, lemon, grapefruit, any of those are excellent. So there actually is a very direct pathway from your olfactory nerve to the amygdala in the brain, which is basically the stress control center. And this is an ancient pathway. So this is designed to really help us be able to survive in the wild, like smell a predator or be able to smell, foods and recognize which ones are safe. We're not using that very much in our culture right now, but we can hack it. We can use that pathway because it is a very direct, like I said, pathway to that control center. So when we're smelling an essential oil that's calming to us, we're literally communicating to our brain in its language and the language of that part of the brain that it's okay, you're safe now, there's no saber-toothed tiger chasing you or whatever,
Yeah.
So it's such a powerful tool. So when we use them, we want to use them frequently. That is really the key. So if we have an oil going in a diffuser, we're using that obviously frequently, every breath. Or if we don't have that, we can set the bottle, on the kitchen counter, on our desk, or in our pocket, someplace where we're going to see it frequently. And then if we pick it up and smell it like 10 to 20 times throughout the day, we're bringing it down a few notches every time. Maybe every time you feel that rise of anxiety, get it out and smell it. We're retraining. We're literally retraining and rewiring our brains.
I keep my my doTERRA yoga collection right on my desk,
Oh,
because I find that grabbing that throughout the day is really helpful. So and I
to shout out another couple oils. Can I do that real quick?
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, please.
Just other oils that are calming. So chamomile would be a great one. Wood oils, tree oils, Siberian fir, frankincense, copaiba is a lesser known one that's really powerful. And then doTERRA has crafted some blends of these that are really, really excellent and work well. Like some of them are adaptive, balance is another one, and peace would be big ones. And then that yoga collection too that you mentioned, Holly.
Lovely, lovely. And I know, from the citrus, I love Citrus Bliss, which I always get a hit of happy, just as you described, whenever I diffuse that one. So that's one of my favorites as well. And I never really thought about that you are hacking that section of your brain. So that's a great perspective.
So cool.
Now, you mentioned that this was an important subject to you personally. I wondered if you might share a little bit about your story with us, and so that we can get a little peek behind the curtain there.
Yeah, sure. So I have PTSD from some events that happened years ago in my 20s, and 2008 when I had my daughter. I also had postpartum depression, and I discovered oils through a friend 7 years after that. So it was my daughter was 7 at the time, and I was at the time still on the antidepressants that I had gone on when I had postpartum depression, and that was awesome when I needed them. And I'm very grateful for that. But at that point, 7 years later, I had permission from my doctor to wean down off of those and go off of those antidepressants. And that is something that I was wanting to do. And so when I started using the oils, I started using them aromatically, like we were talking about, a lot of diffusing, like lavender at night, and then citrus oils during the day. And then I was also using frankincense oil, just dropping a couple drops under my tongue every day. And I did start to wean down off those antidepressants and felt good about that. I added in supplementation for that nutrition part that I was talking about. I used the Lifelong Vitality supplements that are from doTERRA. And then I actually switched to an oil called copaiba, which is another tree oil similar to frankincense. And within a few weeks of those changes, I was able to go off the antidepressants and felt good and confident about that. And again, I want to reiterate, I had permission from my doctor for that. And it's really, so I'm continuing with both of those things. And it's really helped me find more stability, like less roller coaster, just emotionally. But at the same time, getting off those antidepressants, being able to have access to the full range of my emotions has been really, really great. I want to say I have a family member as well who has had a lot of help from the adaptive oil that I mentioned. So there's a capsule and an oil that are made to work together. They're both called adaptive, and she's had significant help for anxiety from those as well. And y'all, we've been having it lately with this pandemic, and even within our family, we've had like some additional big changes going on. And I just am so grateful that I've had these oils. I've leaned heavily on the oils during this time, and definitely practice daily what I preach about this. And just, this morning, like prepping to be with you guys, I'm getting my balance out, then really just smelling that, because I want to be in a state of calm and balance internally, like chemically. Our anxiety is a chemical situation in our bodies, and helping us find balance chemically is so key. And I feel like these are just little teeny superpower bottles that help us get there.
I agree. And I think it's so great that we have, there's so many things that we can do, and tools that we've learned, meditate, deep breaths, yoga, exercise, spend time outside. So, and these are all great things. And sometimes we just need a little extra boost. And I think essential oils can provide that little bump up, if you will, to anything else that you're doing.
I think so too. It's almost like they help us be able to do all those things easier. It's almost like that. You picture that snowball that starts small and gets bigger and bigger, like in a positive way. Yes. They help that get started.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Patti, thank you so much for joining. For those of you who are catching this, we do have in the show notes a list of all of the oils that Patti mentioned, and links if you're interested. You can also go to our shop at fullcirclefamilycounseling.com/store. And there are links where you can buy some kits, get started with doTERRA, and enjoy the quality of those in your own home. And Patti has graciously put together a list of resources for stress and anxiety. Patti, would you tell us a little bit about that resource? And the link for that's going to be in the show notes as well.
Sure. Yeah. It's just something that I put together, a little toolkit for stress and anxiety. So there's a little bit of information about the oils, but then lots of other just links to free things that are available to us online, whether it's yoga or Tai Chi or tapping or like there's so much available. So I just try to consolidate a lot of resources in one place for you guys.
Thank you so much. We sure appreciate that. And thank you for joining us. This was super helpful. If you guys have any questions, Patti, what is the best way? Should they reach out to you directly? Should they contact us to filter through? What do you think would be best?
I'd love to connect with anyone. Patti at pattihoyt.com. Just email me there. It's probably the best and easiest way to get in touch.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Once again, appreciate you joining us today. And thank you, our listeners, for always tuning in. We appreciate you. If you have any questions about anything specific, please feel free to reach out to Patti. Or if you have a topic you'd like us to cover in the future, we'll be happy to cover it. Just write us in at RAD@fullcirclefamilycounseling.com. That's it for today. We'll see you soon.